Hey travelers, welcome back. I'm Courtney for Breakaway on a Budget. Welcome back, guys. I'm so glad to be back. If you've been with me for a while, you know I had a rough pregnancy and then I had a surgery right after that. I'm finally getting back into shape to be able to do some videos. So I'm thrilled to have you back with me. And if you're new here, welcome. Welcome to the community that helps you travel smart on a dime store budget. We are all about saving money here and get you on a great vacation for the cheapest way possible without sacrificing any of the good stuff. So today I want to go back to the roots where I founded my channel since it's been so long, and that's with Spirit Airlines. Now I know some of you guys probably are ready to click off this video, but bear with me. My family and I have flown Spirit Airlines for over 10 years, almost 15 years now. We love flying Spirit. They are not without the cons, just like any other airline. But to fly them and really appreciate them, you have to understand what they're all about. So in this video, we're gonna go over the pros and the cons, and just a little bit overall about Spirit Airlines and how to fly them, what the best bang for your buck is, what not to do, and what to do for them. So let's start with what is, or who is Spirit Airlines. So Spirit Airlines is an ultra low budget airline. If you've heard of Frontier or Allegiant, they're on the same tier as those airlines. If you've flown in Europe, they're very much like a Ryanair or an EasyJet. What makes Spirit unique is they have an a la carte option when you're flying. When you book your ticket, and you're gonna see ticket prices for as cheap as $40, sometimes even cheaper if you go to the airport to book. That is a very true ticket price. We have gotten multiple ticket prices for $30 round trip. It is possible, still possible after COVID, just a little bit harder to get right now. If you're seeing $200, $300, $400 for Spirit Airlines, you're gonna wanna book another airline. Spirit does not cost that much money, and you do not wanna blow that much money on Spirit. I love flying Spirit, but I will not spend that money on their flight. If I can get a ticket for $80, that's who I'm booking, is with Spirit. If it's going to be a couple $100, not booking Spirit. So this is definitely a use your judgment situation. Flying with Spirit, they're not always the best option. Even if their airfare is cheaper, all their add-ons add up. So let's go through everything to know if flying Spirit is for you, and the pros and the cons. So first things first with Spirit, like we just talked about, is ticket prices are extremely cheap. Now, how are they cheap? They're an a la carte option. Like we were getting into in the beginning, a la carte means that you're picking and choosing what you're paying for. When you buy a ticket, that is the only thing you're getting. You have a ticket onto the plane. You don't get to pick your seat. That's an add-on. You only get a free personal item. Now the personal item can be up to the dimensions of 18 inches by 14 inches by 8 inches. I have other bags that I've reviewed for you guys on my channel, and I do have some undercover bags coming that I'm going to be reviewing, and I'm thrilled to be sharing them with you eventually. So make sure you're subscribed so you do know when I can reveal those bags to you. It's going to be a little bit, but I'm super excited for them. Make sure you're subscribed and getting notifications so you don't miss that notice. Back to what we were talking about. The 18 by 14 by 8. This can be extremely strict depending on the gate agent. Now, I've never had a gate agent be as strict as Frontier has been lately, but you don't want to press that. If you do end up having a bag that doesn't fit in the sizer, then it's $100 at the gate. You don't want to be that person. I don't want that for you at all. So please don't try and play the game of they're not gonna catch me, because eventually they will. When you're going through and booking your ticket, you will see all these options. They're going to ask you if you want to add on a carry-on or a checked bag. Now, the carry-on bag is what you have to haul up and put over top your head, and the checked bag is what goes underneath in the belly of the plane. Those two bags cost money. Yes, a checked bag and the carry-on bag cost additional money. I prefer just to use my personal item because most of the time it costs more money for my carry-on bag than it does for my ticket. So that's another thing to be leery about, is if you're not just packing in a personal item, it may honestly be cheaper to check luggage under the airplane as well. But If you're in a hurry when you get off the plane, or you don't want to risk losing your luggage if you have connections, then you're gonna pay for a carry-on, or you're gonna learn how to pack in just your personal item, which I also have videos to help you with that, and I will be filming another one here soon. So again, make sure you're subscribed for those. The next thing they're going to try and get you to buy is your seat selection. Any seat on the plane is gonna cost you money. The last row is gonna cost you money to pick. The first row, they have their big front seats, the first couple rows. They are extra money. They're gonna be $90, $100 or more, depending on the route that you're on. It could be cheaper. I've never seen them cheaper, but it could be. I don't fly all the routes with Spirit. As long as you book at the airport, or as long as you book online together with your party, they will try and keep your party together. So if you don't book seats and you go to check in 24 hours in advance, your party should be sitting together as long as there's seats left for that many people in your party. Now, I can't guarantee if you don't choose seats that you won't be sitting together or that you will be sitting together. It's just a very high possibility that you'll still be sat together if there are seats left together. After you choose your bags and you choose your seats, if you want to pay for those, if not, you can just skip them. They're going to ask you a bunch of more questions. There's like a boosted edition where you can add on a checked bag, a carry-on bag, a seat selection, a flex boarding, multiple different things. If you are planning on booking those, then the bundle deal that they show up is going to be worth booking. If you don't plan on doing any of that, you can just select skip it, and it won't be worth it for you. At the end, and I'm talking online booking here, I should say that in the beginning. At the end, they're also gonna ask you a bunch of different things, like do you want shortcut boarding, shortcut security? The pros are that you can make this trip as extremely cheap as you want. But the cons are, if you are wanting all these additional options, you may be paying more for your overall Spirit Airlines ticket than you would say on Southwest or Delta. So just be cautious of the price adding up when you are booking your ticket. With some pros, like I said, the tickets are cheap, mostly. If you're not getting a cheap ticket, I would not fly with Spirit. I would fly with another airline, point break right there. Another nice perk to Spirit is if you are close to an airport that you can go to and book a ticket, you do get cheaper flight prices at the airport. If you go through the online booking process all the way to the end, and right before you pay, you drop down the menu and you can see all your prices broken down. The passenger usage fee is actually just an online booking fee. I know the flight that we travel the most is Latrobe, Pennsylvania, a nonstop to Orlando, Florida, and vice versa. That is a $22.99 passenger usage fee one way. So if my family, we're now a family of 4, although baby Everett doesn't count. He'll be a lap baby for a couple years. If we are flying to Florida, and there's 3 of us, so 3 tickets one way, that's $66, $67 that we're going to save by booking at the airport. Now, if we're booking round trip, that's $120, $130 we're going to save by booking at the airport. So I'm definitely going to go to the airport and book that. Some flights, it's only a $2.99 booking fee. Some flights, it's even higher than the $22.99 than our flight to Orlando. You have to check it out to see if it's worth it for you. If it's going to be more than your gas to get there and parking at the airport, if you do have to pay for parking, then I think it's worth it. But if you're saving maybe $10 and you're paying $20 to park at the airport, that's not a worthy savings. Then save yourself the hassle, book online. That's another, your miles may vary. Another perk of Spirit is they do have a lot of direct flights, and they do service a lot of the smaller airports. Another pro for also Allegiant, I guess, was Spirit. They do have, like in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, it's about I think 50 miles from Pittsburgh. So instead of going all the way into Pittsburgh International, we just drive up to Latrobe. You would never know it's an airport. It looks just like a little house, basically. It has a little restaurant. It has one TSA gate, and that's it. So it is so nice to go there. They don't even open TSA until an hour and a half before the flight to get down to the bottom level where you board the plane. It's nice and relaxing. I love that Spirit utilizes these small airports. Another unconventional pro that I have for Spirit is they never run out of overhead space. I know a lot of airlines will board and then say, hey, we've run out of overhead space, so we're gonna have to check bags. Well, with Spirit, that's never a problem because you will have boarding group 1 if you pay for a carry-on. There's a lot of people that want to pay for a carry-on, but less than half the plane pays for carry-ons. So once they have boarding group 1, they know how much room they have above the heads, and you can end up putting your personal item up there. I've never seen anyone, get in trouble for this. I've never seen anyone yell or get a weird look for it. We've definitely put our personal items in the overhead bin and not paid for a carry-on. Now, that's not to say that we've tried to sneak on a carry-on. That's just that we've put our personal item above us. For example, my husband has a CPAP and he has a personal item. So there's only room for one of those under the seat, so he'll put either his personal item or his CPAP above our heads. Or if we're traveling with the baby, we'll have a diaper bag and a personal item. So the personal item goes over our heads, we keep the diaper bag with us for obvious reasons. So that is a plus if you want the extra leg room to tuck your feet up under the seat in front of you. Now, this is going to be with most airlines, but there are some items that don't count toward your personal item allowance. That's going to be a jacket, a umbrella, a hat, a medical device. Like I said, my husband has a CPAP. They are a little leery about you taking that additional medical device on. My husband has flown recently and he did have an extension cord for his CPAP tucked in the front. And they saw the bulge and they said, what's in there? Do you only have your CPAP? Because he did have his personal item, they didn't want him to have a carry-on and not pay for it. So he just kindly and calmly explained, that's the extension cord for it. I can show you if you want, I can open it up. They let him go, but just be ready for those questions if you do have an additional device like that. Spirit has now implemented Wi-Fi across their fleet. It is not free. Shocker, right? We're all shocked. Nothing is free. And it is a pretty good Wi-Fi. I've heard it's crept up in price. I haven't flown a lot, especially since I've been pregnant and been really sick with that. So I haven't flown within the last year or so. The last time I flown, it was just starting with the Wi-Fi and it was like $1 and $3, but I know it's not that cheap anymore. Now, while Spirit does not have a first class or business class, if you want to say, they do have what you call the big front seats. And this is the first 2 or 3 rows that they have these overstuffed armchairs, basically, for an additional fee that you can buy, but they're always sold out. Almost always. And they are really comfy. I did fly in them once to see if it was worth the money. It was a $90 upgrade for me one way. I would not pay $90 for it. It was nice to get off the plane, as a first person, but that did not entitle me to any free beverages or snacks. It did not entitle me to board early. I was boarding group 4, the last boarding group, sitting in the second row in the big front seat. So would I do it again? No, I would not. Was it nice? Yes, it was. If that's something that you want, that's great, but it's not for me. Let's move on to some cons. And I know everyone has heard terrible stories about Spirit, but I think a lot of the bad stories have come from people not doing their homework. So let's go over the cons and let me know any pros and cons that you guys have in the comments too, so we can help each other when we're flying with Spirit. This is a group effort, guys. The biggest con is there is no leg room. The seats are very, very squished together. My husband is 6 foot and his knees are definitely in the back of the seat in front of him. So he's always hoping that he can get either the window or the aisle. Usually the aisle, but the window, we'll put our son in the middle and he can angle his legs. The other con, like we talked about, is they charge for everything. You do not get a free carry-on. You do not get a free seat selection. You do not get free snacks or drinks on the plane. So make sure you're packing your own snacks. And while you can't take a beverage through TSA, buy one on the other side. It's probably going to be cheaper and it's going to be in a container compared to pouring in those little cups on the airplane. And then you have to worry about turbulence and spilling. And do yourself a favor. Take an extra $5, $10, get some drinks at the airport, stuff them in your bag. But make sure you open them slowly. I was on a flight and this poor person opened their beverage and it spewed everywhere. Another con is their checked bag. Your weight limit is only 40 pounds. Most other airlines, Even Allegiant recently changed their requirements. They're only 40-pound weight limit. This is extremely difficult to adhere to. I have been on their scales 40.2, 40.3 pounds, and they have let me through with that. But once you hit 41 pounds, it is overweight charge. The easiest way to take weight out is to take out shoes, take out jeans, anything big and bulky. So just be careful with those. Another con recently, a lot of people have started, I shouldn't say a lot of people, some people have started stuffing clothes in a pillowcase or in one of those neck pillows so they can get extra clothes on for free, and they've been posting these videos on social media. Well, the airlines are not dumb. They do see these. So Spirit has taken off pillows as a free personal item, that it doesn't count. It now counts. It's going to depend on your gate agent if they're going to throw a fit about it or not. So just be extremely careful if you are taking a pillow or a neck pillow with you, that they're not going to ding you for a carry-on and a personal item. Another con is they have extremely small tray tables. Like, here is my iPad. The tray tables are about this big or kind of smaller sometimes. And the way the seats pitch on the back is you can't really even prop this up. Their tray tables are not great. Do not plan on taking a laptop and working. It will not fit. It will not even be remotely comfortable to do that. If you're planning on working on an airplane, do not fly Spirit. Or you can book the big front seat. Their front seats fold in from the armrest. It comes up on the side and it folds up and it folds into like a 4 different pattern. And it is a little bit bigger. It's a little janky, I want to say. It's not the best. So if you plan on working, you're going to fly another airline. You're not going to fly Spirit. Another con is they don't have in-flight entertainment. There is no seat back entertainment with Spirit. They do have that you can connect to their Wi-Fi and see the flight map where your airplane is flying. And you can see that for free. But that's about the only thing that you can do. So make sure you have downloaded some videos, some songs to listen to with your headphones. Make sure you have headphones. Do not just listen out loud and make the whole plane listen to some of your movies or music. From all of us, please pack your headphones and use them. Thank you. So my last con for Spirit, after my little rant there, is the seats don't recline. Now, this may be a pro for some people, and it may be a con for some people, so we'll put it in both categories. But the seats don't recline. So I guess on the pro side, you don't have to argue with somebody about reclining their seat into you. But a con is if you have a long flight or a really early flight or really late flight and you just want to recline back a little bit, they don't recline at all. So that's definitely a con, that if you're trying to get a little bit of rest, they don't recline. Hopefully this video has helped you guys decide if you want to fly Spirit or not, or if you do fly them, that you are prepared for everything that's thrown your way. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. See you in the skies, guys. This can be the date or the date. Why is this so hard? Destination.